It's story time. The stories are real, the judgments are yours. You're invited to the next episode. 5 most chilling last heard/seen footages of people. Ready to judge? Hit the subscribe button, drop your thoughts below, and enjoy. In August 2010, Amber Tuccaro, a 20-year-old mother from Fort McMurray, traveled to Edmonton with her 14-month-old son and a friend. One evening near Nisku, she left her motel and accepted a ride from a stranger to get into the city. During the drive, Amber called her brother, and the call was recorded. As the conversation went on, she became suspicious. The driver wasn't heading toward Edmonton like he claimed. Her voice grew tense as she warned him not to take her somewhere she didn't want to go. That phone call would be the last time anyone heard from her. 2 years later, in 2012, her remains were discovered in a rural area south of Edmonton. The case is still unsolved today, and investigators believe the man speaking with her may hold the answers. Here is Amber Tuccaro's last heard recording.
Where are we by?
We're just heading south of Beaumont, or north of Beaumont.
We're heading north of Beaumont. Yo, where are we going?
Just
No, this is a... Are you f***ing kidding me? You better not take me anywhere I don't want to go. I want to go into the city. Jeez. Yo, we're not going into the city, are we?
We're going.
No, we're not.
Yes.
Then where the these roads going to?
50th Street.
50th Street. Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Yo, where are we going?
50th Street.
50th Street?
50th Street.
East, right?
East.
Over town.
Bravo.
Bravo.
An emergency.
Yes, I'm in the middle of the field. The state just pushed some guys over. Right here going towards Javelin on both sides. My truck ran out of gas. There's one car here and got chased to the woods. Please hurry.
Okay, now run that by me.
I'm not talking to him. I actually ran into him.
Ah, you ran into him. Okay.
Got the first guy.
Do you need an ambulance?
Yeah, no, I need the cops.
Okay. Is anybody hurt? Hello? Hello? Hello?
In August 2013, Brandon Lawson, a 26-year-old father from San Angelo, Texas, left home late at night after an argument with his girlfriend and began driving toward Crowley to see his father. Around 12:30 a.m., his truck ran out of gas on U.S. Route 277 near Bronte. He called his brother for help, but before he arrived, Brandon made a strange and frantic 911 call, claiming people were chasing him through a field. When police reached his truck minutes later, Brandon had vanished without a trace. Nearly a decade later, in 2022, human remains were discovered in the area, and in 2023 they were confirmed to be his. What truly happened that night remains a mystery. In 2012, Emma Filippov, a 26-year-old woman from Perth, Ontario, was living in Victoria after moving there for a fresh start. For several months, Emma had been staying on and off at a women's shelter called Sandy Merriman House. Staff there began noticing concerning behavior. Emma appeared increasingly anxious and paranoid, often telling people she believed someone was following her or waiting outside for her. At times, she said there was a specific man watching her, and that she felt unsafe leaving the building. Her distress grew more intense over time. At one point, Emma began moving furniture out of the shelter and placing it outside, explaining that voices were coming from the furniture and telling her to move it away. Around this same period, Emma repeatedly called her mother back in Ontario. Sometimes she asked her mother to come to Victoria and help her move home, but other times she changed her mind and insisted she stay away. Eventually, her mother decided she would fly to Victoria anyway to bring Emma home. In the week before she disappeared, security cameras captured Emma behaving strangely at the YMCA in Victoria. The footage showed her repeatedly entering and exiting the building within minutes, nervously looking outside as if she believed someone was waiting for her. On the day she vanished, Emma visited a convenience store where she bought a prepaid credit card. She later returned and purchased a prepaid phone, but investigators later discovered the phone was never activated. That evening, Emma was seen barefoot and clearly distressed outside the Fairmont Empress Hotel. Police spoke with her for about 45 minutes after noticing her behavior, but eventually allowed her to leave. It would be the last confirmed sighting of her. The following day, police located Emma's red Mazda MPV parked in a nearby hotel garage. Inside the vehicle were most of her belongings, including cash, her passport, clothes, and other personal items, suggesting she hadn't planned to travel far. Then, a strange lead emerged. A witness later reported that early the next morning, a woman matching Emma's description was seen soaking wet and barefoot, asking a man for a ride. He agreed and dropped her off along his route, but after that moment, she was never seen again. To a store in Victoria where a missing poster of Emma Filipoff was hanging. He took the poster down and told the store owner that Emma was actually his girlfriend. According to him, she wasn't missing at all. He claimed she had simply run away from her family. The store owner found the situation disturbing and contacted police. But when investigators looked into it, the man had already disappeared. To this day, authorities have never identified him, raising even more questions about what may have really happened to Emma Filipoff. Trevor Deely, a 22-year-old bank worker from Naas, Ireland, went out with co-workers in Dublin to celebrate their company Christmas party. After drinks at the Hilton Hotel and a nightclub, Trevor began walking home in the early hours of the morning. It was stormy and raining heavily, so around 3:30 a.m., Trevor stopped at his workplace, the Bank of Ireland offices on Wilton Terrace, to pick up an umbrella. Security cameras captured something unusual that night. A man dressed in dark clothing had been standing outside the bank for more than 30 minutes before Trevor arrived, waiting in the rain near the entrance. When Trevor approached the gate, the man stepped forward, and the two briefly spoke before Trevor went inside the building. Trevor stayed inside for about half an hour, had a coffee with a coworker, and then left the building shortly after 4 a.m. As he walked home, he called his close friend Glenn Cullen and left a voicemail saying he was on his way home and would talk to him tomorrow. That voicemail would become the last time anyone ever heard from him. At 4:14 a.m., Trevor was captured one final time on CCTV walking past a bank ATM on Haddington Road, holding his umbrella as he headed toward his apartment in Ballsbridge. Just seconds later, another figure appeared on camera walking in the same direction behind him. Trevor never made it home. When he didn't show up for work that Friday, no one immediately suspected anything was wrong. Many of his coworkers assumed he was simply recovering from the night's celebrations. It wasn't until the following Monday that people realized something was seriously wrong and reported him missing. October 2023, Nancy Eng, a 29-year-old teacher's assistant from Monterey Park, California, traveled to Guatemala for a week-long yoga retreat near Lake Atitlan, one of the deepest lakes in Central America. She had actually attended the same retreat the year before and loved it so much that she decided to return. On the morning of October 19th, Nancy and several others from the retreat rented kayaks and paddled out onto the lake. A video from that morning shows her smiling and waving as the group headed into the water. At one point, Nancy encountered another woman from the retreat while kayaking farther out on the lake. According to later reports, Nancy said she wanted to get into the water and go for a swim. The other woman warned her that the conditions were rough and the current was strong, but Nancy got out of the kayak anyway. Moments later, she disappeared beneath the surface and was never seen again. Her kayak was later found drifting alone on the lake. Search teams used divers, boats, drones, and helicopters to search the area, but no trace of Nancy was ever found. But what happened next raised even more questions. The yoga retreat still had 2 days left, yet the entire group of about 10 participants left Guatemala the very next day after Nancy vanished. Even more concerning, the woman who had been with Nancy in the water reportedly refused to speak with Nancy's family for nearly a month before eventually giving a statement. To this day, while authorities believe Nancy likely drowned in Lake Atitlan, her family continues to search for answers about what truly happened in those final moments on the water.